Just sending a quick text out to the group. What's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard, Ballard Sports Media, coming at you on a Sunday, and we are live for a call-in show. I know I'm a few minutes early, but I figured why not? Think everyone has kind of, you know, gone their separate ways on YouTube tonight, and I was waiting. Jackpot was live. TK was live for a bit, and yes, but we're back. Conference week, I think, was a big success. Once again, I think we did a little better the first time around last season, last year, however you want to look at it. So, but we had really great guests. I think the only bump in the road that we had was, I think it was Thursday. We were originally scheduled to hang out with Tony Altamore, and we had to reschedule for Saturday. Other than that, the guests were great. Um, the conversation went well. The topics, did some team previews, which I want to. Let me get this. Ugh. We'll get to the comments here in just a second. Um, some teams to look at. Quite a few left in the SEC. Arkansas, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Vanderbilt, um, Rutgers is in the Big Ten. I'll go through and make sure that this is up to date. But we want to do every team preview, every Power 5 team preview this offseason. And thanks a lot to the Big 12 for expanding with 4 extra teams. Really appreciate it because it's going to take a lot longer. So, what's going on, William Bryant and Tiger Cat? How are you? It's good to see you. Y'all had a good show today over on Battle Angel's channel. Go subscribe to Battle Angel. Go subscribe to Tiger Cat. If you haven't already, go subscribe to people like Uncle Lou, Chess Hall, BVD. You guys know who you are. Everyone's welcome to drop their channel link if you have a channel and want to gain subscribers. I don't say that for a trick or anything like that. Seriously, I mean, I don't care. I'm all about helping people grow, and I'm also about growing myself. Again, I can't appreciate and thank you guys enough for 1.02 thousand subscribers, man, and we got over 1,000 videos. It's crazy. We got almost 2,000 different videos. Um, so what's going on, Gamecock Chuck? It's good to see you in here, sir. Let's go ahead and drop the StreamYard link, and we'll get to the calls. One thing I wanted to bring up, though, real wrestling news, as you see by the title. So I have family up in Pennsylvania. I won't get into names or anything, but I got these 2 cousins that are twins, and they wrestle, and they're really, really good. I see back there, Waylon, we'll get you in a second, sir. Um, so they wrestle, and they're really, really good. So this is I don't know anything about wrestling other than WWE. I'm talking this is real travel. This is on the mat wrestling. And they get into it. So I wanted to share this screen, and I'll probably share the link to it too if you guys want to go check it out. I recommend it. They're in Pennsylvania. Um, so this is like USA, Team USA Wrestling, Pool A, Ohio, Minnesota Blue, New Jersey, Oklahoma Blue, Tennessee, Pennsylvania Red, I believe, is where they are. So they play 6th in the first pool, which is really good. Pennsylvania, they might even be Pennsylvania Blue. I'm not sure. That's a first place in Pool C. So I just thought it was interesting. I had saw a post on Facebook, and I know we talk sports on here. We'll talk really any competition. I just thought it was interesting, and I figured you guys like to hear it, and I figured I'd share it with you guys. With that, let's get to the calls. Waylon, how are you, sir?
Chris, what's happening on Sunday night? You good, man?
I'm hanging in there, man. We're just killing time for until football season gets here, but it's going to get here pretty quick. I know that.
Man, I ain't got a whole lot more time to kill.
Yeah, I got you.
How'd your Sunday go today? You have a good Sunday today?
Yeah, man. I went to church. I got to hang out with some friends and spent some good time on the lake here with my grandparents. So it was a pretty good day.
Hey, it's always fun when you're on the lake, man. In the summertime, when you can get on the boat, get around,
Yep.
fish a little bit of a morning, fish a little bit of evening before it gets super hot where they think the fish down the bottom. But yeah, that I enjoy the lake, man. That's one of my most relaxing places. Just to relax and get away from the hustle and bustle of the world. Get there and just sort of let fly by, pass on by.
Yeah, so we didn't actually get to go out on the boat. We did some cleaning on our dock, but I still say it's on the lake. So I mean, I spent some time out there.
Oh yeah, you gotta get the boat shined up, man. You can't be out there with a dirty boat. You got to be styling and profiling.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
What's on your mind tonight about football? What you got on your mind tonight? What do you think?
Man, I can't wait for the season. The only thing on my mind is, you have teams out there that are getting enough attention. You have teams not getting enough. You have teams that are overhyped. I mean, we could go many different ways with that. I mean, I didn't really prepare too much for tonight's show. I figured we just kind of have some conversation and let it flow. So, um, I guess I'm positive about Alabama this season. You have to be about Nick Saban, but like I said, man, and we kind of talked about it last week. We talked about it the other night, and we've talked about it all off season so far. Just got to figure out that quarterback situation in Tuscaloosa, but you also can trust Nick Saban that he probably knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah, you got to leave everything in control of the coach. He's driving the ship. It's his ship and he's driving it and he's going to drive it the way he wants to. And a lot of us fans, we don't like the way the journey's going or the path the path he's driving the ship on. So I mean, it's I was reading an article today while I was sitting there on the dock, and it was they had four. I don't even remember where the article was at. I read so many articles, I should have written it down, but you may have saw this. Your memory's a little better than mine on where it probably came from, but they had some teams: Tennessee, I think it was LSU, Auburn, and I think they threw Texas in the mix. So 4 or 5 teams that was possibly uh, could upset Alabama this year. Did you see that today? Did you have time to see that, or was you too busy today? Did you see anything about that?
So I think the only thing I heard there was upset Alabama. So what was it again?
They had about 4 teams, 4 or 5 teams. They thought it might upset, beat Alabama this year. It was LSU was one of them. Of course, they threw Auburn in the mix.
Yeah.
They threw Texas in the mix, and then they threw Tennessee in the mix. So there might have been one more team. I'd have to go
Yeah.
find the article. But
Well,
what do
I'll
you think?
say this. It's funny because we'll get a Tennessee fan on next after you, Waylon. I see him in the back room. And then we'll get Nick Saban Jr. on. But I I think the most likely upset team is probably going to be Auburn that could get Alabama, and I'll tell you why. I don't see enough firepower for Ole Miss. I don't see Mississippi State. I don't see if we had to stick just to the SEC, or we could even go outside non-conference. I'd say probably going to be, even though it's a home game, Texas could be tough in week 2. Think about LSU and Tennessee. Yes, they're going to be good. But Nick Saban's really good at revenge games, and I've been saying that a couple times this offseason. Nick Saban knows how to get revenge. He doesn't want to lose twice in a row to somebody. He hasn't done that since 14 and 15 with Ole Miss. Think about that for a second. That's been almost a decade ago. And I just, someone's going to get Alabama this year. And it might even be a couple teams. I don't think it's going to be the teams that got them last year, though.
Well, I don't. I really hadn't studied that hard on it, just to pinpoint an actual team I think that will beat Alabama. The Iron Bowl's always the Iron Bowl. You never know. Of course, Alabama pretty much dominated Auburn. Well, they did dominate Auburn last year, but the defense could have been better. But it was a beat down. But I don't know. All these teams got to play Alabama at home in the house at Bryant Field. It's pretty hard to do when you're either under the lights or it's either a 2:30 game on CBS, But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes later on. But I'll get off here before these other guys can get on here. But I'll leave you a little funny story. My dad, I was thinking about this day, and it was funny. Helped him get him one of them high-end pickup trucks, and it was he was driving it, and he was coming back home, and he looked down on at the gas meter, and it was sitting on E. And the car mother always had, he knew if it was sitting on E, he had about 9 gallons of gas left to get home. He said, "Well, I ought to have enough gas to get on up the road here to my cousin's, service station to get some gas." And it came it was raining. It was toad strangler, but it was coming down like a cow pen on the flat rock. He pulled over on the side of the road, sitting there with his flashers on because he was out of gas. State trooper pulled up behind him. Well, we knew who the state trooper was. It was Mr. Joel Robinson. He's passed away now. And he got out and said, "Mr. Colburn, what's wrong?" And Daddy said, "Well, I run out of gas." And Joel said, "Well, I got a plastic seat cover here on my front seat. Get in. I'll take you up here to your cousin's Junior Johnson service station. We'll get you a can of gas. We'll bring it back." Daddy got in with Joel, and they rode up there, got the can, brought the gas back, put it in the truck. And Joel took on off. The rain stopped, and Daddy went on up there to my cousin's service station and got out. Daddy was just soaking wet. Junior come out and said, "Lord, Ernest, what happened to you?" He said, "I run out of gas." He said, "I want you to fill this truck up, fill it up to the brim." And my cousin asked my daddy, said, "Both tanks?" I can just imagine how Daddy looked at him when he said, "You want me to fill both tanks up?" And he said, "Anyway, I love all y'all. Y'all have a good out there, and I'll be listening in." Remember, his car's got 2 tanks on them now, so I love all y'all.
Yeah.
Be good, Chris.
We'll see you around, Waylon. Thanks, buddy.
All right, man.
TriStar, what's going on, man?
Oh, not much, man. I was gonna say, you can bring my dude Nick Saban Jr. up here too while you're at it. That's my guy.
Yeah, I'll let you guys talk it out, man. We'll hang on the line, Nate.
Talk to him anyway.
What's up?
What's up, Junior? You gotta turn your mic on.
It doesn't look like he's muted. Well, Nick Saban Jr., are you there, sir?
He's down there in Phoenix City, so you got to forgive
him. Yeah. Yeah.
But I seen him on KB's show earlier today. I tried to tell him, like, "Man, you need to get me on with KB. That'd be a fun one."
Yeah. I'd love to talk to KB, man. I love his content. I think we'd make a good team.
That right there is the man you want to talk to, right there. Just message him on Twitter. Yeah. He'll probably try to set something up. But yeah, I just seen the text in the group chat, and I popped in. Wait, there he is. Are you there? Never mind. He must be having technical issues.
Oh, he left.
Well, he must. He'll be back. Like I said, down there where he's at, the signal's kind of. But anyways, like I said, looking at with this year, like I said, a lot of Alabama fans on Twitter, and as you know, I've got a pretty good Twitter presence. Most of them that I hear on there, tell me I'm delusional. Like, oh, well, because I tell them this, I say, okay, so you take Nick Saban off. Like, let's just say it was Coach Uncle Lou. Like, say Uncle Lou was the head coach. I'll use him.
That'd be great. Yeah.
But I'm just using that as an example. Like, if it was Coach Billy Ray from Scottsboro.
Yeah.
Where would you have that team if you took out Nick Saban and put a different coach in? Like,
you have the same players and same players and everything.
Same players, but different head coach.
Well, it does depend on who you have as the head coach. Who did you bring up?
I said, okay, I use a realistic one. Like, say it was Dabo.
Okay. We still might go like 10-2 or 9-3 with Dabo. I mean, it won't be as good as it will be with Nick Saban. And speaking of, it looks like we got Nick Saban Jr. back.
Can you hear me now, Junior?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
What's up, man?
You need to get me. You need to get me and Ballard on there with KB, man.
Hey, but about that, I'm gonna talk to him about it. I'm pretty sure he'll love to have you on, man.
Well, I know he'd probably love to hear me. But anyways, here's my thing. While I look at Alabama this year, and like I said, I'm not trying to be some kind of hater. Listen. I've watched Alabama and Georgia as much as I have Tennessee. My wife's an Alabama fan, so I kind of know a little bit of the inside. And from what I see going into this season, now that Texas game is going to be the determining factor of how Alabama is going to do the rest of this year in terms of the perception. Do they have talent there? Absolutely. They just came out, I think, with 247. It was like the blue chip ratio or something. And Alabama's blue chip ratio is 90%, which is just stupid.
Yes, sir.
That's ridiculous. Like, Georgia doesn't even have that. But here's my thing, though. I'm just looking at what I see. When I watched that spring game, I was wanting to see those wide receivers actually, not just let the balls hit their hands, actually, bring them in, catch them.
Yeah.
And I still seen the drop passes. So right now, you guys, I mean, they're talented, but I don't know if it's the wide receiver coach or what, but it's like just the fundamental things of just catching the ball. I mean, it ain't like you got Joe Milton throwing a 100-mile-an-hour fastball to you.
You talking about Alabama's team, like receivers,
yes.
or
yes?
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know what it is, man. I'm trying to think off the top of my head without looking it up who the wide receiver coach is. Is
I
it?
think he's still there.
Holman Wiggins.
Holman Wiggins. That's it. Thank you.
And he was there. He's been there 2 years? He's been there a couple of years, I think.
He's been there for a while. But this is what I'm gonna say on that. Honestly, drop balls and stuff, I put that stuff on players because at this point of your game, at this point of your career, you got to work on your craft on your own.
They need to hit the jugs machine.
Exactly. You shouldn't be spending a whole lot of practice time in practice time working on catching the ball. Yes, you have your basic fundamental drills that you do. But you can't spend a lot of time on that. That is time you have to spend on your own time as a player. And it's like if you were at Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, whatever, the next level is the NFL. So why wouldn't you want to put that time in for yourself to do that?
Yep. And I'll give you a perfect example. Jalen Hyatt, he went off last year, won the Biletnikoff Award and all that stuff. But going into last season, every Tennessee fan thought he was going to be a bust because he was a 4-star wide receiver out of South Carolina when he came up here to Tennessee. And, he hadn't done anything. He was dropping passes and all that stuff. Like, he had the speed, but he just wasn't really doing anything. And he was kind of going through the motions, all that stuff. And you know what he did last year in the offseason? He went to the jugs machine and caught 15,000 balls.
Yeah.
So he didn't drop any more passes. So if I was the wide receivers coach every day, all day, I would not have the wide receivers doing anything else but hitting the jugs machine. Because that's where I feel like against a team like a Tennessee or an LSU or a Texas, a team that can talent-wise match up with you and can move the ball and have good offenses, I got to see it. And plus right now, I don't trust the quarterback room. Jalen Milroe, he's a hell of an athlete. He can run his ass off. It's just he can't hit the red side of the barn. And Ty Simpson, if he was as good as people want to say he is, he would already took that job because it's not that hard. I mean, if you're a much better quarterback than Milroe, then you would already took the job. They wouldn't have brought in Tyler Buckner, who's got more interceptions and touchdowns. And on the offensive line, you're replacing the blind side, which is the worst side to replace. That's the side you can't see. So I feel like there might be a few games there where your defense will have to really step up and win you those games.
Yeah.
And defensively, I think y'all will be a little better. I'm not expecting just this massive jump to like a top 2 defense. I'm looking about a top 10, top 15. And I expect maybe 24 and 25 is when y'all get up to that top 2, 3 range. Because there's a lot of talent, but there's a lot of youth and inexperience as well. Because if I'm correct, maybe somebody can tell me different. But if I remember correctly, I've seen where Alabama was last in the SEC in returning production on both sides of the ball.
They definitely got to be this year. I mean, well, I say that. I don't know. I just they got some returning production on defense. I know offensively they're going to have young guys step up and that we just haven't seen. And
right. I mean, you got Isaiah Bond. He's got a lot of potential. We just don't know yet. You've got, of course, that idiot Jermaine Burton, who I can't stand. I don't understand why y'all have him on that team. He does not deserve to be there.
I don't know.
But
this is what I say. Cause
go ahead.
Cause as a fan of the team, I understand all the question marks. But this is what I say about every team in the spring development on your end. And just as a Bama fan, from what I've been seeing, the guys been doing, is it going to translate to Saturday? I really hope so. I've been seeing them guys put a lot of work in on their craft. You know what I'm saying? So, do I think we'll be okay? I think we'll be okay. And as far as the quarterback-wise, I understand the question marks on that, but it goes to last year. It's all about the scheme you run. And, yes, we had Bryce Young as a quarterback, but when you have a 5-star a unicorn at the quarterback like that, you tend to lean too much towards that quarterback instead of leaning towards more of a team ball. So honestly, I feel like we can benefit more from a Jalen Milroe or Ty Simpson or whoever the dude is, because with them type of quarterbacks, you're not going to lean just on the quarterback. You're gonna practice on running the ball more, so you can lean towards the offensive line. You're gonna lean more towards your running backs, and you're gonna hopefully that when you scheme around things, hopefully that play you hit to the wide receiver will open up and hopefully they can catch the ball. All I'm saying is with these type of quarterbacks versus a Bryce Young type quarterback, you're going to lean more towards team ball than just leaning on towards the Superman quarterback.
Right. And one guy I feel like might be your best offensive player this year is a tight end by the name of C.J. Dupree. I agree. Really I think that guy's really good.
He came in from Maryland for a reason, and I'm gonna say this. I think we need to find a way to use 2 tight ends on our roster. We need to find a way to use C.J. Dupree, and you got to find a way to use Robbie Utes.
I agree with that.
I agree. And I'm gonna tell you, I think Danny Lewis. I actually think Danny Lewis Jr. is a sleeper over Omari D. Black. I think
You could
Omari
be
D. Black
right.
is gonna be highly talented, but I believe he's gonna have to beef up a little more and learn a little more. But Omari
Hey,
Lewis
Junior,
Jr.
you sound real glitchy and staticky for some reason. I don't know what the problem is, but I'm just letting you know you sound. It's like piercing my ear. But like I said, I feel like against teams like a Mississippi State or a Vanderbilt or something like that, I feel like y'all won't have any problems. That you can just run it down their throat. But against teams that can match up with you, I think that might pose some problems unless you have some people just step up.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm paying attention to that Texas game, because that is a team talent-wise that can line up and beat you. And I want to say, like, if they come out and they beat Texas by like 2-3 touchdowns and they're just out there just slinging it around and looking good, okay, well, they're going to be fine. But if they come out and it's like a struggle win or even a loss, okay, it's going to be a fun season for them.
Now, would you also say that if Texas does pull it off, could we potentially see them just being one of those teams this year?
I mean, that's possible. That's entirely possible. And I know I know Alabama fans on here might get mad when I say this, but Bryant Denny is not like Neyland Stadium. It's not like Tiger Stadium down there at LSU. It's not like a hostile road environment.
Yeah.
Everybody I know has ever been there. It's, the sweater vest, wearing those, it's got the C logo thing. Basically you're more well-off rednecks that got money, and they're just like, sitting there clapping.
Yeah.
That's what I think when I think of Bryant Denny Stadium. I don't think of fans actually like getting really emotionally invested. So that's why I'm thinking when it comes with LSU and Tennessee, I don't think the fact it's on the road is really going to change anything.
You could be right.
And like I said, I'm not trying to say that Alabama does not have passionate fans. They do, but I'm going to be honest with you. From what I've seen, a lot of the people that go to Alabama games now probably were not going 20 years ago when you had the 3 mics and you had Brody Croyle as your quarterback.
Yeah.
Whereas my buddy Nolan made a statement, and it makes so much sense. He told me, he said, dude, TriStar, there are no casual Tennessee fans. They're all diehards.
Yeah. Well, you guys got anything else? Because we got a lot of callers in the back room, and I'm trying to do this like call-in style.
Oh, no, nothing else. That's nothing else really. Like I said, I think Tennessee's going to be really good. I think Alabama's got the potential, but I'm still leaning LSU because of all their return of production. I think it's going to be a Georgia LSU rematch. I think it'll be a better game than what it was last year. And that's about all I got to say, man. And I'll let other people come in here. I know Nate's trying to get in here. Anyways,
Yeah.
Good.
See you, TriStar. Hang on the line, Waylon and William Bryant. We'll get to you guys very soon. Nate, sorry to keep you waiting, man. How are you?
Very good. I'm doing good, Ballard. How are you?
I'm great, man.
That's good. By the way, I'm liking the call-in show so far.
Thank you.
And yeah, I want to talk about this the video that you posted out about Michigan's potential to get 1,000, or Michigan's team getting the first ever 1,000 wins.
You think it can happen? You think it could happen this year?
I think it will. Now, am I saying it's going to happen? I don't know. Time will tell. But I think it will happen. But I I'm just waiting to see that day and see what what's gonna be, and I'm actually excited, but the wins totals doesn't really mean anything if you want to do trash talking. I mean, that's not really a good view if you're doing trash talking for a team that is almost at dozens wins. But
Yeah.
I mean, I just want I want a natty. That's all I want. As a
Now
Michigan.
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Nate.
Hmm.
If you guys hit the 1,000 win mark this season, are you going to run around saying you're the greatest program in history?
Probably.
I mean, I think it's valid to claim that. I mean, if you hit 1,000 wins in college football, I mean, that's a huge accomplishment.
I mean, in history, yes, because Michigan's been playing since I don't know early 1800s. But yeah, I yeah we now are the better program right are the best program right now? No. Well, we're one of the best programs right now, but we're not the best program. That's Georgia.
Yeah. And by the
Um,
way, if you don't, this is pending you don't lose a game. I did the math.
that
And I
is
talked
right.
about it in the 1,000 win mark, if you don't lose a game, will be at Maryland on November 18th of this year.
Yep, that is correct.
It'll be cool.
Yeah. Actually, I think Maryland could be a little threat to Michigan, to be honest, because of Pineapple Jr. or Tuvia Baiga.
Yeah.
Man, these names for quarterbacks or any player, they've been weird this century.
Yeah.
Tabagaloa. What's that? The freshman's Tennessee quarterback.
Oh, Nico, I'm a believer.
Yeah,
Nico,
I
I'm
mean,
a
what the
believer.
heck?
Yeah.
What was happened to the simple names like let's say Ballard or something like
Well,
that? What happened to that?
they got a simple name down in Oklahoma.
Yeah,
General Booty.
yeah, that is
You
correct.
can't make this up. I cannot make this up.
Uh, Billy Bob Jr. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, but back to Michigan talk. Um, I think Michigan's capable of beating Ohio State this year. They're capable. I'm not saying they're not gonna lose. I'm just saying they're capable of winning. I
Well, you get them.
at home, yeah.
You get Ohio State at home. I think I see a three-peat over Ohio State, and potentially, I mean, could you three-peat as Big Ten champs? I think it's
It's
possible.
possible,
But
but
you
it's kind of
also got to
hard.
be careful.
Yeah,
You got to be careful with Penn State.
that is true. But I'm not saying that Penn State's going to lose, which is highly unlikely. But you know, Michigan kind of. I mean, there's a bright side kind of for Michigan for the Penn State game, which is one thing. It's at noon. That's a kind of good thing for Michigan, I guess.
It's still on the road. It's
That
still
that
on
is
the
true.
road
Yeah,
and late in the season.
yeah. I mean, all I'm gonna say is last time Michigan went to Penn State, they got really lucky, as a Michigan fan says.
Yeah.
But I'll take it. But I in my opinion, I think Michigan is gonna lose at least one game to Penn State. But I think it's gonna be a close game, though.
Now, let me ask you this. You're going to Beaver Stadium. Would you rather have it early on to get it over with, or do you want to wait till late in the season hoping that Penn State has messed up?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because it is late. It's in November, so.
Yeah. I don't know. Probably late. I think. I don't know if you were a Michigan fan, what do you pick?
I would have it early on to get it over with. Well, I say that, but Penn State's really good early on. I would keep it where it's at, actually. I would take it late, hoping that Penn State is messed up.
Yeah, I agree. But I actually think JJ McCarthy, even though he was a 5-star in I think 2021 recruiting class, I think he has the potential. Well, I mean, has potential since he got there, but this is his his second year as a starter. I mean, because of McNamara started when J.J. McCarthy was his first year, but I actually wanted J.J. McCarthy to start his first year, but I think J.J. McCarthy is going to have a really big improved year this year, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was in a Heisman race, but not finalist though. But
yeah,
I
got you, Nate.
That's all I have. And I keep up the show, Howard. You're doing really good, and talk to you soon.
All right, thank you, Nate. Let's get to Waylon. What's up, good sir?
TriStar. What did you just say? We sitting in the stands with sweater vests on, rednecks with money. Oh Lord!
He said something along those lines. I don't know.
Is that what he said?
Something like that. I don't know what exactly he said. I kind of, not that I tuned it out, but I couldn't quite make out what he was trying to say.
This is what I'm gonna say. Hey, beat us one time in 15 years. Oh Lord, that hurts. I know it still hurts, even with that one win. It's like a knife in your rib. Somebody just keeps twisting it. It hurts. In Georgia, y'all won in what against Nick? I won't even say that. I just let y'all twist the knife yourself. I'm worried.
I actually had to correct someone on Facebook today, I think, and I think Kirby, isn't he like 1-4 against Nick Saban, or 1-3? So I mean, he's only got the one championship against Nick Saban. How many times in a row has he lost to Coach?
They don't know. They better do their better go to Google. And I'm not going to keep telling them.
Yeah.
I've told them and told them and told them. Anyway, TriStar, I'm glad you got that truck pulled over. I'm worried about you. I'm going to send us. I'm not sure you out of gas. Anyway, I got to get out of here while y'all let everybody else in here. Y'all be careful. Us rednecks. We'll see y'all later on. I love y'all. Bye.
See you, Waylon. Thank you, Waylon, for coming on. Thank you, Nate. Thank you, TriStar. Let's keep it going. I dropped the StreamYard link. Again, I didn't really have much prepared. But you see by the title, we need more interviews on here. I'd like to talk to more coaches or players, or, I mean, if you guys ever want to like do a one-on-one interview and let the people know more about yourself or your team or something like that, hit me up on here. And you can follow me on Twitter at Ballard Sports. You can also email me, ballardsports19@gmail.com. So, man, there's a playlist I made of interviews that I've had. I think we're going to bring back Ballard Sports 360 when it's football season. If you ever want to be a guest on there, let me know and we can set something up. Just let me know if you want to be interviewed and me ask questions about you, or if there's something specific sports wise you'd like to talk about. We could do that as well. I've also got interviews with like softball players from Wallace State. I think a key one that sticks out to me was one-on-one with Joe French, who is a Bethune-Cookman basketball player. Connections. So Joe Hastings. This one got over 1,000 views. It was 5 months ago. We talked with a Bama Insider On3 reporter where we talked about Alabama recruiting before signing day. And we talked to Coach McBriar of Wallace State, the women's basketball coach. She actually, if I'm not mistaken, has taken a job somewhere else to coach a different team. And the men's coach is going to take over both teams. Mr. William Bryant, how are you, sir? I see all that Bama gear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm a original Gump, man.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Proud of it. How you doing tonight, Chris?
I'm good.
Good deal. Good deal. I think we're going to have a good season this year.
Yeah, me too. I think that, it's all going to come down to, like I said before, how's the defense going to fare? How's the offensive line going to prepare for these big games? And who's going to be the quarterback?
Yeah. And not much talk has been going on, but I really like this Dylan Lonergan. And he did a super job. Of course, he didn't get much play time during the 8A game. I was down there, and I thought he did a better job with what little bit of time that he had on the field.
Yeah. He looks like he's got a rocket for an arm. I mean, he just slinging the thing, and he's very mobile. I liked Eli Holston. It's so weird because the backups looked better than the guys that are competing for the starting job. Like, even Ty Simpson looked a little shaky, but he's got good talent. That Jalen Milroe's got good talent, but he didn't look the best on the field. And it's so weird to see that when you look at backups versus potential starters.
Yeah. Yeah. I know all the talk is about him taking a bunch of receivers down there with him to Florida. And, hey, so be it. If he's the one, I'm going to back him 100%. It doesn't matter who it is.
Let me ask you, what was your reaction when we picked up Tyler Buckner?
That I was kind of puzzled, to be honest with you. I was really puzzled. I mean, but then I got to thinking, well, he's got a repertoire with Tommy Reese already. So, still, I'm like that. I don't know. I mean, we've already got a quarterback room already, and I feel, and I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that we're going to have one, maybe two leave, either during the season or before the season. I hope they choose to stay, because football injuries happen, and we don't want that to happen, but they do. So.
Yeah, it's good to have the depth, and I would say talent-wise, Alabama has to have one of the best in college football. You could put it up with Georgia. Georgia's got like Gunnar Stockton and Brock Vandergrift, Carson Beck. There's another one out there that slips my mind, but I think that having the depth that Alabama has at the quarterback position is very important, because if one guy doesn't pan out, you can automatically say you're sitting on the bench and this guy's going in because he might do better, and we need to do what's best for the team.
Exactly. And a lot of folks put a little stock into well, I say put a lot of stock into the star behind somebody's name, and Coach Saban has been interviewed, about, well, he's a whatever 4 or 5 star. Well, he says I don't even look at stars. He says,
Right.
I go by their performance and how well they do, and if they listen and do what they're told and execute like they're supposed to do, then that's all that matters to him. That's all that matters to me.
Same thing. And I think another big thing is character too, is yes, they got to do the job well, but how are you even off the field? And it seems like nobody's really had off the field issues too. So I think that's a good upside for this quarterback room at Alabama right now too.
Yeah. And one thing too, while I was down there, and this is what you mentioned character, and me and my daughter, of course, went down there today a game, and before we left on that Sunday, we decided to go by the Bear Bryant Museum. And folks, if y'all have never been, please go. It's
Yes.
an awesome experience. I felt like I was on holy ground, But the first thing, once you go into the main room there, right there in the center, between the two walls, right there in the center was I believe there's a little trophy or statuette inside of a plexiglass that had a picture of Barrett Jones, reaching down to grab the opponent's hand, and that's character, Hey, I'm gonna knock you down, but let's get up and do it again. Let's do it, and that's character, man. And you see a lot of these players. Well, you see a lot of these players even on the USFL. I was watching today. There's those that get hurt, and you'll see the other team just get down there and bow on one knee, because nobody wants to get hurt,
I remember, you remember last year with what happened to Damar Hamlin, and everybody came together in the football world. And even I saw where Dan Orlovsky, who's an ESPN analyst and co-host of Get Up on ESPN, he said a public prayer to the Lord above. And I mean, it's amazing the sport of football that can kind of bring us all together. And when you really look at someone, as just another human being, I mean, there's nothing better than that, man.
Exactly. I mean, because we're humans first, and then we're for our teams. Then it should be that way, but there's probably some that's not. But I did want to mention, and I'll let somebody else get on here, but I did want to mention that I'm with a group of guys that's on Tuesday nights on 7 p.m. on the Central Time, called the CTS Sports Room. Now, it's totally TVMA, so if you're under 18 or you don't care for vulgar language, we use that, but it's all in fun, and we have a great time. I mean, you'll get a kick out of it.
I don't always watch you guys, but I try to watch when I can, and I think you guys do a great job.
Okay, appreciate it, man. I'll let somebody else get on.
All right, thank you.
All righty.
Roll Tide too. All right. So we're having some thunderstorms here. I hope that the power doesn't go out or anything, and you just never know what you get with Alabama weather. Thank you, Wayland and Nick Saban Jr. and everyone that's come on tonight. TriStar, William Bryant. We'll give it a few more minutes, folks, to see if anyone else wants to come on, and if not, we'll cut it short. We'll get team previews out this week too. Hope you guys enjoy conference week, man. It took a lot of work to get the guests to come on, and I want to also thank Joey Foster for helping set some of those up, and him also being a part of it last night with the Big 12. Or was it Friday? Friday we did the Big 12. Either way, thank you, Joey. I love you, brother, and we always appreciate you and what you do for us here at Ballard Sports Media. Coming up at 11:45 p.m. Eastern, catch Traveling Fools live movie trivia night I'm excited for that one, man. We had fun last Sunday with trivia. Traveling Fools, go subscribe to him and catch his great content. He travels a lot and he does a lot of good live streams too. He's got a good setup too. I like his long arm microphone. I think he kind of has the camera off to the side like this, and I'm sure he's got a bunch of monitors too. So he's got a really good setup. Traveling Fools does, but go subscribe to him if you're not already subscribed, and catch us on Trivia Night tonight. I don't know if I'll be on the stream, but I'm definitely gonna try to join in if at all possible. So looks like he was live last night. I hate that I missed that. I was doing family stuff anyway, and I was tired. But so I'm also what was I gonna say? Brain fart. I'm also trying to look into getting a job somewhere. I've applied and looked into Walmart or something like that. Nothing's official, but any Christians out there, if y'all pray, be praying for stuff like that. God's got opportunities ahead of me, I know, and I'm going to trust and believe in that and go wherever he leads me. So it's possible that I get a job soon and the schedule has to change. But we'll work around it, and I'm trying to put a little bit more time and effort into school as well. And I think I'm doing a good job so far this semester. So, and yeah. By the way, I see this post here. I didn't even realize this. Did you know Tyler Buckner, before he chose Alabama, also had TCU in his potential landing spot? I think that's pretty cool. Check the comments here. Adam Woodard. Long time, man. It seems like it at least. Roll Tide and good evening. Not excited about Tyler as our quarterback. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's got a little bit of experience. Like I said earlier, trust Coach Saban with whatever he decides to do. You got to have faith and belief that he's going to make the right decision that's best for the team. Tyler Buckner, he might be the right choice. We'll see. Hey, nothing wrong with working your butt off. Keep working. Keep grinding. Waylon says Buckner will be okay. Yeah. We'll see. Hey, you never know. Says Jalen is definitely not the answer, though. LOL, not unless he improves a lot over summer. He could improve a lot over summer. I know he's built to be a quarterback. He's got the muscle. He's got the physical tools. I think he's got to work on his accuracy. I like how mobile he is too. He can run, he can scramble. Got to do that in today's college football as a quarterback. You just got to work on accuracy. Hit the broadside of a barn, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I should sleep well tonight with that thunder. The thunder rolls. I saw that too. Jalen Monroe went to Florida with a wide receiver. I don't remember what wide receiver it was, but yeah, he was working out in Florida. I saw that on social media. Thought that was very interesting. Obviously, you know, Jalen Monroe wants to get better, wants to improve, and I'm sure he knows he's got a lot to improve on. But again, you know, we're not going to be the fans that call the shots or tell you who's going to be at quarterback. We're going to trust Coach Saban to make that choice and put it in God's hands too. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it is pouring down. It is thunder. It is lightning. Flashes. Yeah, it's a lot, Waylon. So yeah, like I said, we'll try to get more interviews on here on the channel. And if you guys have suggestions of who you want to see, who I could reach out to talk about some sports, just let me know. Let me know. Keep in touch. If you guys ever want to be interviewed and talk some sports, just let me know ahead of time. We can set something up. Just need someone to not lose the game for us. Enough talent everywhere else to stay competitive. I agree, Adam. William, I hope it's the same too. It's flashes of lightning. It's thunder. So there are storms, but don't jinx me here. Don't jinx me, William. Don't jinx me on tornadoes. Thank you, Gamecock Chuck. I appreciate that, brother. Anyway, y'all subscribe to everybody in this chat. Thank you, TK, for showing up earlier. Y'all had a great show tonight, too. Go subscribe to Tiger Cat. Go subscribe to Gamecock Chuck, Waylon, everybody on here, man. We appreciate it. 80-mile-an-hour winds. Holy cow. That's crazy. That's crazy, Waylon. What's up, Cody? Anyway, I think we're going to call it a show. I think we're going to wrap it up. I think Traveling Fools is going to go live soon, here in a few minutes, like 15 minutes. Go check out Traveling Fools. I dropped his channel link in the comments. He's going to do some trivia tonight. So I might go party over there, see what I could do. And yeah, I love and appreciate everyone. God loves you. Trust in him. Believe that. He's got a great plan for your life, man. I'm telling you, you just got to keep the faith. You got to keep having hope and never give up. So he can do amazing things with you. I love you guys. Y'all have a blessed week ahead. We'll see you on Touchdown Tuesdays this week with Mayhem Matthew. And yeah, that's about it. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff like I used to say. And until next time, Ballard Sports Media, check it out. I love y'all. Peace. Y'all have a good one. Roll Tide.